anyone could have burnt down Mandy's house, and it could have been anyone, specifically the town's arsonist, Norman Price. But we don't know who burnt Mandy's house down yet. After all, there are lots of arsonists in Ponty Pandy. Apparently, there's also James, Mike, and Sarah. Now, we don't know who the arsonist is yet, but we can already tell who it's going to be: Norman Price. The town's arsonist has burned down Mandy's house, and it could be anyone. Mandy's house, covered in flames. Fireman Sam already comes to the rescue. He doesn't know who the arsonist is, and since there isn't a detective in Ponty Pandy, he has to think of becoming a detective himself, since there isn't a detective in Ponty Pandy. They decide to investigate who caused the fire, and who might have left the oven running. But who would have done this? Who would have left the oven running? Was it Mandy, who could have helped Norman make a surprise cake for Dillis's birthday? Or could it have been Norman who caused the fire? Well, we don't know. Still already knowing that Norman Price might have caused a problem again, so they rush over to the house to figure out who was the one who caused the arson. They then realize that it could have been Norman Price, or maybe his dastardly friends, James and Sarah, who helped make a birthday cake for Dillis's party. It's Dillis's birthday, but now that we think of it, Dillis doesn't deserve an unhappy birthday, even if Dillis causes fires. They rush over to put out the flames, wondering who could have caused the arson, and then they finally realize who might have done this. Norman Price would have been up to his mischief again, and would have set the oven running and caused it to burn down Mandy's house. When they asked who caused the fire, they asked Mike Flood, but he said no. They asked Mandy, she said no. They asked Helen, she said no. They asked Sarah, she said no. They asked Norman Price, he lied and said no, meaning that he was the one that caused this fire all along. Sam asks Elvis if he might have known who the criminal is, and then Norman apologizes to Fireman Sam and said that he was the one who caused the fire. Finally, the crime is solved. Norman Price was the one who caused the fire and had to be charged for his crimes. Soon, the police were coming. The police, including PC Malcolm and Sergeant Rose Ravani, were going to catch the outlaw, outnumbered, and apparently these policemen are going to catch him. They go over to the Flood's house and charge Norman for his crimes. But I didn't commit the crime, said Norman Price. But the thing is, he did. I didn't, I'm really sorry, I won't do it again, he said, while the police didn't give a care. They handcuffed him in handcuffs. Then they decided to arrest him for arson and property damage. And now, for the property damage, he goes to jail for a year, and for the arson, he goes to jail for 5 years. PC Malcolm is taking Norman with him to jail, while Norman causes a fire in Mandy's house. Sam puts out the fire. Breaking news, said the news reporter. A man has had his house being burnt down, and his name is Mike Flood, by some ginger kid named Norman Price. This freckle stain of a child is very bad and almost burnt down Mandy's house in the process. This freckle child with freckles, looks like Fregley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the Fregley nerd, has burnt down his friend's house and almost damaged their property. Now he's been going to jail forever, maybe for 5 years. But now that we think of it, he deserves to be locked up forever, considering about all of his crimes. But since he went to jail for 5 years, we can all be proud of that. Hip hip! Hooray! It's the news reporter. Norman's gone to jail. And no more locking people in changing rooms and setting them on fire for Norman. Unless he breaks out of jail. Until next time. Until next time. To be continued. The Arsonist of Pontypandy, Part 2. Coming soon. Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed that video. In case no one knows, this is going to become a series, The Arsonist of Ponty Pandy. And we are going to find out who burned down an ice rink in the next video. And now, goodbye for now. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye. Please subscribe.